Hello guys, my name is Yash. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will learn about data types in Java with the help of examples. Data types specify the different size and values that can be stored in the variable. There are two variations of data types in Java, primitive data types and non-primitive data types. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Also, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe so that you don't miss any updates. The primitive data types include boolean, char, byte, short, int, long, float, and double. The non-primitive data types include classes, interfaces, and arrays. A primitive data type specifies the size and type of variable values, and it has no additional methods. In Java language, primitive data types are the building blocks of data manipulation. These are the most basic data types available in Java language. There are 8 types of primitive data types: boolean, byte, char, short, int, long, float, and double. So here are 8 primitive data types and their details. The boolean data type has two possible values, either true or false. Default value of boolean data type is false. They are usually used for true-false conditions. Here we have an example. The byte data type can have values from -128 to +127. If it's certain that the value of a variable will be within -128 to +127, then it is used instead of int to save memory. Default value of byte data type is 0. Here we have an example. The short data type in Java can have values from -32,768 to +32,767. If it's certain that the value of a variable will be within -32,768 and +32,767, then it is used instead of other integer data types. Default value for short data type is 0. Here we have an example. If you are using Java 8 or later, you can use an unsigned 32-bit integer. Default value of int data type is 0. Here we have an example. If you are using Java 8 or later, you can use an unsigned 64-bit integer. The long data type is used when you need a range of values more than those provided by int. Default value of long data type is 0. Here we have an example. The double data type is a double precision 64-bit floating point. It should never be used for precise values such as currency. Its default value is 0.0. Here we have an example. The float data type is a single precision 32-bit floating point. It is recommended to use a float instead of double if you need to save memory in large arrays of floating point numbers. It should never be used for precise values such as currency. Its default value is 0.0. Here we have an example. The char data type is used to store characters. It's a 16-bit Unicode character. The minimum value of a char data type is 0 and the maximum value is 65,535. Its default value is 0. Here we have an example. Java also provides support for character strings via java.lang.string class. Strings in Java are not primitive types, instead they are objects. The string data type is used to store a sequence of characters. String values must be surrounded by double quotes. Here we have an example. Next is non-primitive data type. Non-primitive data types are called reference types because they refer to objects. Examples of non-primitive types are string, arrays, classes, interface, etc. The main difference between primitive and non-primitive data types are: primitive types are predefined in Java. Non-primitive data types are created by the programmer and is not defined by Java. Non-primitive types can be used to call methods to perform certain operations, while primitive types cannot. A primitive type has always a value, while non-primitive types can be null. A primitive type starts with a lowercase letter, while non-primitive type starts with an uppercase letter. The size of a primitive type depends on the data type, while non-primitive types have all the same size. If you like this video, share it with your friends and also don't forget to like.